What's going on, investors? Welcome back to Frunkla Investment and happy weekend, everybody. Last week was really crazy. In this video, we are just going to check some few things, but in the next video, I will be talking about the inflation. I have a breaking news that I want to share with you guys about inflation. And also in the next video, I'm going to be talking about the price action of Bionano Genomics, what happened yesterday, what happened last week, and we are going to be taking a look at what we should be expecting next week. But in this video, we are going to be taking a look at this article from the Monthly Fool that states that 400 the radar stocks with 319% to 645% upside in 2022, according to Wall Street. And of course, the 645% upside is Bionano Genomics. Okay, we have an analyst out there, 5 stars analyst. Okay, Kevin Degida, he has a price target of $14 on Bngo. A big shout out to Cisco Investor. He also shared something that I would love to talk about with you guys. We are talking about revenue. We have a new code coming in this year, in the second quarter of this year. That of course is going to increase the revenue of Bionano Genomics. Like I have been predicting, in my opinion, I believe in 2022 Bionano Genomics is going to like double their total revenue. We have started to grow. Okay, last year I believe Bngo is going to be reporting about $18 million in total revenue for 2021, and in 2022 I believe we are going to double that amount. Okay, I believe we are going to be doing like 30 and above million US dollars. So we are going to be taking a look at all these things right after the intro. What up investors, it's your boy Dayo. Welcome to Frunkla Investment, where I talk about Bionano Genomics on a daily basis. From Sunday to Sunday, I try to post at least one video. If you would love to learn more about Bionano Genomics, this channel is for you. Okay, feel free to subscribe to this channel, join other members of Bionano Genomics, those that are also invested in this company, and come here on a daily basis to learn more about their investment in this company. Whatever I show you in this video is just for educational purpose only. The financial market is a very dangerous place and you can lose a lot of money. Always do your own due diligence. Don't sue me, bro. Let's get to it. Alright guys, so this is the article from the Monthly Fool written by Sean Williams. This guy is partially bullish Bionano Genomics. Okay, the title says 400 the radar stocks with 319% to 645% upside in 2022. Okay, according to the Wall Street. And of course, they mentioned let me see. So on the introduction goes like, despite the stock market undergoing its biggest correction in more than a year, investors have enjoyed a historic bounce from the March 2020 pandemic lows. It took less than 17 months for the broad-based S&P 500 to double in value. By comparison, the benchmark index has returned closer to 11% annually, including dividends since 1980. So this author, he spoke about Okugen with an implied upside of 408%. Okay, but of course, I am not here to talk about Okugen. And the second stock he spoke about is VaxArt. Okay, implied upside of 319%. And then he went ahead and spoke about Intercept Pharmaceutical with an implied upside of 468%. Okay, then he went and spoke about Bionano Genomics, the fourth one with the largest implied upside of 645% if everything falls into place for Bionano Genomics. Okay, now the author went ahead and spoke about Kevin Degida, okay, because this 5-star analyst has a price target of $14 on Bionano Genomics. Kevin Degida says that Bngo could rally to $14, which of course is still below the all-time high that we set back in 2021, February 16, when the stock price went as high as $15.67. So according to the author, he said the excitement surrounding Bionano Genomics started a little over a year ago when the company issued numerous press releases and studies showcasing its optical genome mapping system known as Sapphire. For instance, one study released in December 2020, which was when I joined Bngo. Okay, that is when I found Bionano Genomics. The study showed Sapphire had better success in identifying large structural variation, structural genome variations than a similar OGM system developed by Pacific Biosciences. In addition to being more effective, it was the cheaper of the two as well. Okay, because Bngo, okay, it costs about $500 minimum to analyze genomes using the Sapphire platform. Okay, meanwhile, I believe Pacific Biosciences platform, long read sequencing platform, cost thousands of US dollars. It depends on what exactly you want to analyze in the genomes. Okay, now the author continues and said, this is a bearish case in my opinion. Okay, he said, on the other hand, it could be years before Sapphire gets a green light from the FDA. So I think this author is wrong. Okay, because we don't need FDA approval. Okay, the Sapphire device is presently being used for research purpose only, and we have some laboratories out there using it, for diagnostic purpose as well. So FDA approval is not needed. What we need is a CLIA code. Okay, we need a CLIA code, and towards the end of this video I'm going to be showing you guys an example of the kind of code that some laboratories out there are going after, so that they can start to use the Sapphire device, to attend to their patients, to check for rare genetic diseases and so on and so forth, heme malignancies. Now he continues, he said, without this proverbial green light, it could be difficult for Bionano Genomics to secure research/license agreements that generate revenue. The why I say this statement is wrong, I believe this guy has not done full research, is Bionano Genomics. If you take a look at Pacific Biosciences of California, for example, their devices are also for research purpose only, okay, not for diagnostic purpose. Meanwhile, Pac Bio has installed, hundreds of devices out there, and the company is presently worth billions of US dollars. Okay, even Illumina wanted to acquire Pac Bio, like 2 years ago, but they failed. So Pac Bio is not, they don't have FDA approval. We also don't need FDA approval before we can, get to where the author, is implying that, Kevin Degeda said the price target of Bngo could, get as high as $14 US. Okay, now, so he continued, he said, having fallen well off its highs, Bionano is intriguing for long-term investors with a high tolerance for risk and reward. But reaching $14 in 2022 is not something I would expect without FDA approval. So that is, of course, completely wrong. What we need to do is to double the amount of Sapphire devices out there. You guys already see that every quarter we are installing more Sapphire devices. For the past 3 quarters now, we have been installing at least 20 Sapphire devices, and I believe this trend is going to continue until, okay, that mass adoption start. Okay, I believe it has already started. Until it gets closer, or it's, gets here, that is when we will start to see Bionano Genomics installing at least 20 devices per month. It's not going to be 20 devices per quarter. Then that's when I expect them to be installing at least 50 devices every quarter. So let's go to the next one. So I made I made few tweets, few hours ago, that there is a software out there, okay, a open source software out there. Okay, this is it. There is an open source software out there called FaNDOM. While I was doing my due diligence today, I came across this FaNDOM, and it is based on C++, okay, programming language. It was developed by Siavesh Raisi, whatever, and Jens Lubeck. Okay, the software platforms, the software performs alignment of Bionano Sapphire optical genome mapping molecules and contigs to a reference using a seed-based filter. The reason why I made this tweet is because I found out while I was doing my research based on what Dr. Ravindra Kolher is already doing, because this doctor finished a study, okay, studying how OGM can be used to analyze genomes of COVID-19, patients, for example, how they can, be used to find out who is going to get extremely sick if they contract this virus, okay, if they get C-19, and who is going to, not get any, not, show any symptoms if they get, this virus. And of course, this is something that I believe is going to bring a lot of money. If Dr. Ravindra is able to get this code for the test, then people can start to go to the laboratory, for example, or he's just going to outsource, he has a package that I believe he has designed, okay, that he's using. If you have a Sapphire device, for example, and you want to test your patient for this, using what, I don't know what he's going to call this test, okay, He's going to give you a license, and then you can perform this test following his method. So while I was doing that due diligence, I found out that there is a software out there known as FaNDOM. Okay, and this FaNDOM was also used to check his results with Bionano Access 171 software. So if you take a look at this picture, for example, this is the list of unique structural variants overlapping coding regions of the genes identified in patients with severe COVID-19. Now, these are the results. Okay, you can see the name of the number of the chromosome right here, and then here is the software FaNDOM, and this software was also able to detect everything. This is also another software that Bionano Genomics researchers are also using. It is called qPCR. And of course, Bionano Genomics is presently, selling the NX Clinical, okay, and I believe on this software right here, this FaNDOM, for example, is very fast, okay, in comparison with some other methods. Now, this is more information about FaNDOM, okay, as OM Blast. This is another software out there that users of Sapphires are using to interpret, to analyze the data that the device is rendering. So OM Blast and Ref Aligner are two softwares, where the best they were the best, performing pre-existing methods for mapping Bionano optical maps to a reference genome. So what the founder of FaNDOM did is they compared the performance of FaNDOM against Bionano Ref Aligner and OM Blast, and they also attempted to benchmark Twin and Codistar. These are also two other methods, software out there, but they are not specifically designed for this problem and did not perform as well. So in conclusion, anyway, the results showed that FaNDOM was 4 to 6 times faster than OM Blast. Okay, this is OM Blast up here, and 13 to 14 times faster than Ref Aligner on all data sets. Now, the reason why I'm sharing this with you guys is because I believe the Sapphire device is limited, according to what the users and according to the software engineers at Bionano Genomics. If we are able to bring in more talent, more engineers, that can figure out how to read all these data that are coming from the Sapphire device faster, more effective, and which of course is going to make it to be cheaper, this is going to be good for the company. As you guys already know, Bionano Genomics is already building a new prototype for the Sapphire device, which I believe they are going to release in the first quarter of 2023. And this is because of the acquisition of Biodiscovery, okay, because Biodiscovery is more or less a software company. That is now why we are able to do a lot of things, combining OGM data sets with NGS data set because of Biodiscovery. So I think we are also still limited according to the capability of our software engineers. The more smarter, the more genius engineers we have on board, the faster I believe the Sapphire device is going to go, and perhaps it's going to help us to come out with another Sapphire device maybe in the next 5 years, for example, that is going to have higher throughput, it's going to be cheaper, and it's going to be able to answer all the questions that our present researchers users are using it for. Let's go to the next page. All right, guys, so while I was doing my due diligence on this new the press release that dropped a few days ago about how Dr. Ravindra has formed a consortium, a COVID-19 consortium, to check genomes for all this how effective the effect of structural variations whenever it comes to predisposition of C19. This is a document out there, a PDF file that is 141 pages, and you guys can see that we have a lot of researchers, scientists, experts out there working with the Sapphire device, guys. I mean, look at that. Optical genome mapping identifies rare structural variations as predisposition factors associated with severe COVID-19. These are all the name of the experts working, in this consortium, this COVID-19 host genome SV consortium, okay, formed by Dr. Ravindra Kolher from Augusta University right here, Medical College of Georgia, Augusta University, Department of Pathology. Look at that, guys. If you come down a little bit, this is a 41-page PDF, and believe me, I went through everything. Now, if you come down a little bit, look at all the institutions, out there presently researching using the Sapphire device, okay, to check what has not been seen yet, okay, what cannot be seen by the the sequencing technologies out there. Here we have Howard Hughes Medical Institute and Harvard Medical Institute, Department of this, Division of Immunology, Boston Children's Hospital, and so on. We have some, this is from Germany, for example, Hanover Unified Biobank in Hanover, Germany. We have, this one is New York Genome Center, New York, Department of Medicine, Medical College of Georgia, Augusta University, and so on and so forth. So now, while I was going through all these documents, you guys can see right here, this study is the first to systematically assess the potential role of SVs in the pathogenesis of C19 severity and highlight the need to evaluate SVs, along with sequencing variants to comprehensively associate genomic information with inter-individual variability in C19 phenotypes. So, and they performed optical genome mapping on 52 severely ill C19 patients to identify rare/unique structural variations as decisive predisposition factors associated with C19, and they were able to identify 7 SVs involving genes implicated in 2 key host viral interaction pathways. So not to waste your time with this, I went through all these things, and that's where I of course found that there is this software out there, FaNDOM, that this study made use of. If you go down a little bit, let me see if I can find where they spoke about FaNDOM. So independent assessment of Sapphire SVs by FaNDOM. So they also compared the result of FaNDOM, with the result, that confirmation of Sapphire SVs by FaNDOM and qPCR. FaNDOM and qPCR dosage experiments confirmed all the 7 SV called made by Bionano Assess software. So if you go further down, so I think that is all I want to share with you guys on this page. So let's take a look at what is going on, what Cisco investors shared few hours ago. Now, before I go ahead and show you guys what Cisco just shared and try to shed more light on it, there is something out there known as HCPCS, Healthcare Common Procedure Coding System. And these are the kind of codes, and the Healthcare Common Procedure Coding System is a collection of codes that represent procedures, supplies, products, and services which may be provided to Medicare beneficiaries and to individuals enrolled in private health insurance programs. The codes are divided into 3 levels of or groups as described below in comments. So we are not going to go ahead in that. So the purpose of this code is of course to allow reimbursement. These codes, this body is responsible. ResDAC, Research Data Assistance Center, your source for CMS data support. This kind of code is responsible for reimbursement whenever a patient goes to a laboratory, for example, to check their genomes for structural variations. Perhaps they have a rare genetic disease. This kind of code is what their insurance is going to use to pay to pay for this service, to pay the laboratory, or to refund the money that the patient perhaps privately paid this laboratory for the research. So that is the purpose of all of these codes. Now to end this video, Cisco investors shared this right here, the CLI regulations require a facility to be properly certified for each test it performed to make sure Medicare and Medicaid only pay for laboratory tests performed in certified facilities. Each claim for a HCPCS code considered a CLI laboratory test is edited at the CLI certified level. Now, this is something that I believe they are going to release on the 1st of April, which of course is going to be the beginning of the 2nd quarter, in 3 months time. And of course it means more generated revenue for Bionano Genomics in the 2nd quarter of this year, in a nutshell. And this code, the related CR release date was since January 20th 2022, and then effective date April 1st 2022. So these right here are the codes that some laboratories out there are going to receive once it has been approved. You guys can see the number of the codes. So we have optical genome mapping for detection of abnormalities associated with rare heritable diseases. Let me show you guys the link to the website. So this is the main website. You can see healthcare common procedure coding system, code subject to and excluded from clinical laboratory improvement amendment, CLIA. That is the full meaning of CLIA. Okay, now if we search for genome, all you have to do is search for genome, and then you go down there. You can see that we added the following HCPCS codes on October 1st, 2021, and they are subject to CLIA edits. Okay, so you have this optical genome mapping for deletion of abnormalities associated with rare heritable disease. And then if we go down further, this is another code, detection of abnormalities associated with rare heritable diseases by optical genome mapping. Then if you go further, whole genome and nDNA, sequence analysis for the blah, 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 blah. Okay, this one is not optical genome mapping. Let's go to the next one. Optical genome mapping. This one is optical genome mapping and whole genome sequencing for detection of abnormalities associated with rare heritable disease. I believe this is one of those laboratories out there that are presently, using the Sapphire device plus NGS technology, perhaps Illumina plus Bionano Genomics, because you can see whole genome sequencing right there. So now if we go down further, okay, this is another one, oncology pan-tumor whole genome sequencing. Okay, this one is not optical genome mapping, it's whole genome. Okay, this one is okay, U0299U oncology pan-tumor. This one is pan-tumor, whole genome optical genome mapping of paired, malignant, and normal DNA specimens, fresh, frozen, blood, blah, 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 comparative structural variant identification. So I believe that is the last one. Okay, yeah, that is the last one. All right, guys, so I think that's where I'm going to end this video. See you guys in the next video, where I'm going to be talking about inflation, talking about the price action of Bionano Genomics, what happened last week, and of course what we should be expecting next week. If this is your first time on this channel, please consider subscribing, and if you would love to join, be a member of this channel to promote me, to help me to come here on a daily basis so that I can keep providing valuable information for you guys, which of course I believe is going to help you in deciding if you want to invest in this company or not. Okay, if you want to buy Bngo or not, consider subscribing, and of course consider joining the channel, becoming a member of this channel, which of course is it costs about 99 cents per month. Okay, see you guys in the next video. Ciao, ciao.